Have you ever heard of weighted ball training? It's become one of the most popular ways for baseball players to increase their throwing velocity. The idea is simple: throw heavier balls to get stronger and throw faster. Sounds logical, right? But here's the big question: does it really work, or does it secretly increase your risk of injury? Today, we're diving into the science behind weighted ball training, what research says, what really happens to your arm, and why faster isn't always better. Welcome to Physio Hub, where we explore sports and rehabilitation science backed by real evidence, explained simply and clearly. As baseball performance training evolved, so did the methods. Coaches, athletes, and even social media influencers have promoted weighted ball programs as the ultimate way to gain pitching velocity. You'll often hear claims like, gain 5 miles per hour in 6 weeks, train your arm to throw harder. The appeal is obvious. Who doesn't want to pitch faster? But before you start throwing a 2-pound ball, let's look at what the evidence actually says. According to a systematic review by Caldwell in 2019, weighted ball training did show an increase in pitching velocity in most studies analyzed. That sounds promising, but there's a catch. The quality of the evidence was poor, and there was a huge variety in how the programs were designed. Some used slightly heavier balls, others much heavier ones. Some lasted a few weeks, others months, and most importantly, very few reported injury data. So, while the review found that weighted ball training can improve velocity, it also concluded that there's not enough solid evidence to determine if it's safe. That's a big red flag. In a 2018 study by Reinold and his team, researchers followed 38 healthy pitchers aged 13 to 18 during the off-season. Half of them trained with regular baseballs. The other half trained using weighted balls, ranging from 2 ounces to 32 ounces, 3 times per week for 6 weeks. After 6 weeks, the weighted ball group improved their velocity by about 3.3%. That's roughly 2 to 3 miles per hour faster. Pretty good, right? But those pitchers also showed an increase of about 4 degrees in shoulder external rotation. And more importantly, 24% of them got injured, mostly elbow injuries. 0 players in the control group were injured. So yes, weighted ball training made them throw faster, but it also made their arms more vulnerable. So, what's going on here? Why does throwing a heavier ball make your arm faster and riskier at the same time? A 2021 study by Michael and colleagues looked closely at how different ball weights affect pitching mechanics. They had professional pitchers throw balls ranging from 3 to 7 ounces and analyzed 15 biomechanical parameters. They found that heavier balls increased pitch velocity and shoulder rotation velocity, but they didn't necessarily increase the stress on the arm joints, at least not immediately. The risk might not come from a single throw, but from the accumulated stress over weeks and months as tissues adapt unevenly to the new load. Think of it like upgrading your car's engine, but not your brakes. You'll go faster, but your system isn't ready for that speed. Weighted ball training increases throwing velocity, partly by increasing the range of shoulder external rotation. That means your arm can rotate back farther, creating more whip and more speed. But that extra motion comes at the cost of joint stability. The ligaments and tendons around the shoulder and elbow stretch beyond their normal range. Over time, that can lead to microtears, elbow pain, or even ulnar collateral ligament injuries, the very injuries that often lead to Tommy John surgery. So while the short-term gains are exciting, the long-term cost could be your career. So, should you stop weighted ball training completely? Not necessarily, but you should do it intelligently. Here's what science suggests. Use light to moderate overloads, not extreme weights. Focus on shoulder strength, scapular control, and hip trunk coordination. Prioritize gradual progression and adequate rest. And most importantly, monitor your arm health continuously. Weighted balls can be a useful tool, but only as part of a balanced program, guided by a coach or physical therapist who understands biomechanics. To sum it up, weighted ball training can increase velocity, but it also increases risk, especially if done without proper supervision. In the words of Reinold, in 2018, although weighted ball training may increase pitch velocity, caution is warranted because of the notable increase in injuries. So, before you chase speed, remember, velocity means nothing without longevity. Protect your arm, train smart, and keep playing the game you love. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Physio Hub for more evidence-based sports and rehab science. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.